Why do people still have cosmetic surgery to appear young when they are going to end up looking like Donatella Versace anyway? Here's the thing, cosmetic surgery is like makeup. You only notice the dramatic or poorly done. You don't notice a large amount of the work out there. To be fair, you don't notice the subtler procedures, so you've got a little bit of selection bias going. They don't all end up looking like a turtle. Most people get it done in moderation and manage to make themselves look a decent bit younger and healthier without getting the overdone look. 95 of celebs get it done, but only 15 look bad because of it. I have a coworker who is in her late 50s and has been getting filler for a decade now. She's very careful to not overdo it and always seeks out doctors that are not only talented but honest. She looks fantastic for her age, but you'd literally never know she had any work done unless she told you. I worked with her for months before she told me and I had no clue. While these celebs have a lot of money, it doesn't always result in good treatment because 1. If they get addicted, they can afford to go overboard with it too. A talented doctor can still be a greedy or dishonest doctor. 3. Doctors may not want to deny them because of their wealth and influence. And 4. Sometimes they are not as rich as they'd like you to think they are, so they actually get poor work done. You're missing all the good cases. Why do you think Paul Rudd looked so good for years? Lots of cosmetic procedures, little and often. Blake Lively has work done, as does her husband, Hugh Jackman, Brad Pitt, and pretty much any attractive person in the public eye you can think of. Finding someone that has had it would be harder. For every Simon Cowell, there are 10 people that have had great work done. Most of the Kardashians, Halle Berry, Paul Rudd, ScarJo, Jennifer Lopez. Any person you think of right now that is in the public eye and your first thought is they are beautiful fave had work done. You only notice the bad work. A lot of people who you assume are naturally beautiful are in fact not naturally beautiful. They have just has small procedures or very well done ones where you don't really notice. If people were unable to lie about what they had done, you'd probably be shocked. It's especially bad since so many public-facing people won't actually admit to having things done or admit to something minor when they actually did a lot more. Sometimes people get hooked on plastic surgery and then start looking like your examples, or they start so young they keep having more and more procedures as they age. Someone's perception of what they think looks good can also be vastly different than yours or the masses. Why are you phrasing your post as if there is no tasteful cosmetic surgery done? The good work goes unnoticed, and that is exactly the point. I mean, some people have good work. Sometimes it's body dysmorphia. In my experience, having worked closely with some extremely wealthy people, I think it's more of a flex to showcase wealth than it is to actually look younger, because it's obvious that they are just sliced up to high heaven, the status symbol, and being surrounded by yes men. Almost every single celebrity has had cosmetic procedures done, including Marilyn Monroe, Brad Pitt, Ryan Gosling, Joe Biden, Taylor Swift, and many more you wouldn't suspect. You don't notice it when it's well done. The ones that keep having them are like those people addicted to tattoos that end up with mismatched tattoos all over. They have some sort of mental health or addiction problem, and we should blame the plastic surgeons who keep operating on them when they should be declining those patients. My understanding is that many don't want to look young. They want to look wrinkleless and stretched like a doll. Authentic looks are not sought after. Tom Cruise is heading down that road too now. He looks like an absolute stranger now. I did not recognize him. It's called rich person face. They do it on purpose because it's pretty much become a status symbol to have a bloated face, puffy lips, and stretched out forehead skin and all that jazz. It identifies you as part of a class of people who have the money to do that to yourself. I'm personally not someone who intends to use cosmetic surgery in my life, but there are many people who have very subtle work and look phenomenal even in their later years. It's so organic in appearance that it's not noticeable. We notice really poorly done or overly done cosmetic surgery more frequently because it's super overt. There is also a lot more understanding of how surgery can affect the body both physically, internally, and even mentally. Because of that, more methodical, subtle surgery can be done to enhance the body without being incredibly damaging to the body as a whole. I will say, I think there is a small market of people who are way too young to be utilizing non-medically necessary cosmetic surgery and injectables. The face and other parts of the body are still developing, and we are starting to see long-term damage to the skin. But not my monkey, not my circus, if I am going to be honest. Consider this: I get my eyebrows threaded and tinted. That's all I go in for. One day the lady asked if I wanted her to take off the mustache too. Until that point I hadn't thought twice about my fairly standard peach fuzz. From that day on, I've been Burt Reynolds. Insecurity grows. It starts with a little bit of grooming, but it can balloon quite easily. A few days ago I was wondering how much a tummy tuck would cost, as if it's just standard to get major surgery. If you have near infinite money, you can spend it attempting to fix every little tiny thing, and it leads to everything looking bad. If you have enough money for a facelift once, then you may get that done, look a decade or so younger, and never get anything done again. People will likely never know you had surgery. It's overuse of plastic surgery that gets the issue you were talking about, not just plastic surgery. I'd like to have some lifting done, at least on one side of my face. The other side was adapted due to melanoma. It looks good considering the scar, but my face is off, and my under chin, because it looked better on turkeys. So why? Because extending the time to not look like the old people would be nice. Lol. F. 61 living with the gray hair and sags elsewhere. But I'd just like to look prettier in the pics with my grandkids. I'd like them to know me without as much time on my body. Conceit? Sue me. Guess what? I like Bill Burr's comedy. But he's had a facelift, chemical laser peels and Botox and fillers. He's 56 years old with the neck of a good 40-year-old. As for Versace as an example, allegedly, she's been tanning, chain smoking, and doing snow for years. You treat your body like shit, your results will be shit. You see, mate, the pursuit of youth through surgery is nothing but a desperate grasp at an illusion. They are trying to cheat nature, yet all they achieve is a grotesque version of themselves, showing weakness and insecurity. You do well to remember that true beauty lies in authenticity, not in a mask of chemicals that can't hide the truth inside. Keep playing with your looks, but don't cry when you end up as a laughable spectacle, just another puppet in a performance no one asked to see. Everybody ends up looking like different stages of Joan Rivers in my opinion. That's because people only notice the bad ones. The ones that are done well, you wouldn't even realize that they have done cosmetic surgery.